Turn 7. So we have several battles here. First one is Pan attacking into the what was previously several heavy cav and is now few heavy cav. And now that there are few, they're gone. I love the little blood vengeance effect. Next, one of my battles. So this is this crew going into Indies here, which they will have no trouble whatsoever because my guys own. Those poison things are really fucking powerful though. Like, if my guys didn't have regen, I would be just killing myself with these poison slingers. Fortunately, they regen through it. And the damage is small ticks, so... Oh, he doesn't even have his bless up. Well, fortunately, he's got enough HP. He survives. Next... Oh, that was that one. Next, we have over here... This is going into the horse tribe. Which... Nice, you cowardly shits. Fortunately, my guys are brave. These guys are too fast. The little swamp cards have trouble keeping up. It's okay though. These guys really are badasses. I never liked them very much in Dom 4, but I guess they're, with the way that bless mechanics have changed, they're kind of worth it. But I'm definitely feeling their power. They're pretty freaking thick. They're kind of like I don't know. A Garm herding almost, except with an extra attack, and obviously you're limited, so you don't have as many. But that's as far as like power. Okay, so here goes the Centaur into more shit, and BV doing its thing. It's really powerful, as you can see. It helps a lot. Then we've got my God attack into more Lion Tribe. And those guys are going to be our backup, or rather our decoys. Oh, Sleep Cloud looks neat. The little cute Z's. So yeah, the decoys did their job and he didn't get mobbed. And no afflictions. So they'll run in a second. There they go. He's too spooky for him. Water gems, and then I got Victor's villains. So we're going to send all these guys together into here because this keeps scouting between like 60 and 80 to 100 fucking tribes. So I bet it's like 80-ish. That's a lot of guys. And if they roll well on morale, I will have guys killed, which is not worth it. So with all of these together, I will probably have some attrition. Victor's villains is to decoy the archers for maybe 1 or 2 rounds until they rout, because Victor's villains are shit. And we'll put all these guys up here. Blessers are here. I do have this guy who will be better for blessing a larger number of troops. And I'll probably take all the survivors and attach them directly to him and return her with these back to the cap and pick up another crew. This guy we're pulling back, so over here we can see Bandar Log, and Pan has scouted Mary. So there is their team right here, which they're actually blocked by this throne, which means they're kind of separated. I guess they can go around this way, but the terrain is ass, so they're kind of fucked a little by this map. Yeah, they should have probably like moved this throne like down here manually. You can do that in the map adjustment, and it's because it's blocking their shit. It should be here or something, but whatever. Hopefully, if that's a level 1, actually, where were the thrones? Throne of War. Oh, Ashdod claiming shit, of course. If that's a level 1 or a level, that's a lot of heavy cav. But if they can clear that, they'll be able to connect. Assuming we don't fight them, which I'm disinclined to do so, because I have such an excellent defensive point here that I would love to just set my fortress here, and then if they want to come at me, they have to go through this point, and I can defend it very well with my god or some Marshmasters or whatever. So we're just going to continue to flow this way. Moving him back, he does have a few survivors, which I guess I'll throw on guard. Move him here and he'll go into that. These 2 groups will go here, and then we'll see what this water is. I doubt a candle's going to spread, but if it did, or if it's weak, I could send him into the ocean. Because we will have Ice Shield and Quicken Self. So with those 2 things, he's pretty nasty fighting water things. We've also got Frodo Broggett's Elite Warriors, which is a whole bunch of Hogard Burgmeister guards, which are really strong. So I'm going to bid them here and try to send them into these Jades and see if we can pick up an Amazon province. Over here we're throwing our temple down, palisades down to 2 turns, so next turn I'll put the lab down. I should have the gold. I'm a little poor, it kind of sucks. My lands are pretty shit gold income mostly. Like I've got this prov that's good, this one's mediocre, and then all the rest of them are like poor as shit. Just look at these things. 38, 37, 30, 14, 29. It's shit. 15. So at least Pan's got decent gold over here, so I can't complain too loudly. And then over here, we're sending these guys into heavy cav. They may not survive. Depends on how accurate that scouting report is. Hopefully it's not actually like 10 heavy cav or 12, because my guys will probably lose that unless I get really, really lucky with a morale roll and lance hits. But we'll see if they can actually win this. I will try. They may be able to win. I don't know. And actually, yeah. So I'm putting him back here so that way the heavy cav will be engaged separately from the heavy infantry. Since I don't want to fight them both at the same time, hopefully we'll either have lost or have routed the heavy cav by then, and then they'll get a round or two to regen, and then they can kill the heavy infantry. And over here, yeah, we're still massing stuff. So this turn I won't have anything to carry these, but I'll have 2 turns worth, so next turn the guys who return will be able to pick up 2 turns worth of recruits. And then next turn I'm also going to ping this throne with the guy who comes out here next to see what kind of mages are in there. If they're weaker mages, I may just directly combine that stuff with this stuff and just go take it, and then bring my disciple down to claim so I get some candle push. But we shall see. And that is the turn. Turn 8. So we got Alteration 2, which doesn't really do too much, except it does give Quicken Self, which I'm going to go ahead and give him, so you can clear shit out faster. We've got a battle over in Cliffport, so this is Pangea expanding into 4 heavy cav and looks like 4 heavy infantry. And that was a pretty freaking clutch and tangle right there. That was like 1 second from death. But instead they win. Okay, next we've got Vanheim attacking. So I get to see his bless, which is why that scout was there. So if we give it a second, you can see magic weapons, decay weapons, shock res 5, poison res 10, fire res 10, defense 2, reinvic 2, MR 1, HP 1, blood surge 3, combat speed 30. Which, if I am correct, that is a bless of 4 of every element. None of them are incarnate, so I assume that means their god is imprisoned or dormant, which means they do not have an awake god that can fight, which is good to keep in mind. Next, battle in New Spring. So this is the huge ass pile of tribes. So they did helpfully shoot at the villains, and then they got owned by lizards. And there are 2 squads of archers, not just 1. So there's a lot of shit to deal with. Poison slingers do their job. They actually own quite a bit. Next, another battle. This one is Pan. Looks like he's going into some mountains, and this will not be an issue. I assume it's a very easy to win battle. And then our battle up here into the Great Mountains, which is my foray into heavy cav, and there are a lot of them, so we'll see if this turns out, or doesn't. Oh, well, I guess that means I don't have poison slingers anymore. Well, I guess I ate a few of those lance shots. And I think I win. Maybe because of the poison slingers eating lances, but either way. And we got Invent in High Peaks, Bad Tax Harvest, whatever. Alright, so expansion-wise, we're going to go down here. I don't have candles here, so it's going to be quick and self-attack close. Only 1 stack of regen will be present. Because his native, he won't get the blast regen. Over here, putting a lab down, which will complete with the palisade, so we will have lab temple here. Over here, I put everything all onto my H2. He took all the stuff along with the slingers, and his job is now to spam blessing at them by himself, since he can both lead and is an H2, so he blesses a bigger AoE. Everything else I'm sending back, except the villain who I sent along. And then over here we will have, what, like 12 sacreds and a handful of other units. We're pinging this throne with the scout who's going to flee. Now that I know his bless, I'm going to sneak around and see how well they've expanded. From what I understand, he's bounced off of Ashdod in a bump, so I don't know if they're at war or if that was just Ashdod murderizing him for a moment. Looks like my one lizard routed over there. Oh well. So we're going to expand up here, down here, and then ping here. And then at that point, we're going to see what this is and what kind of defenses we've got on this, what kind of mages, and depending on what they are, I may just go take it, or if it's something decently scary, I don't know, I may wait till Vanheim takes it. And then we're going to try and get these jades. So, depending on what it is, next turn I may move the god or the disciple over that away, along with some troops. But yeah, it's looking relatively good. My provinces kind of suck for income, which is lame, so I don't have as much income as I think I should based on province count. Unfortunately, because I've got 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and I still don't even have 1,000 gold, which is pretty shit-tastic considering my scales are not that bad. So, unfortunate. And down here, I don't even know what their scales are, but it looks like they're pure scales. Or that could be a throne that spreads luck, or magic, but either way. The fact that they don't have an awake makes it very tempting to attack them, because disciples, by their nature, are very badass, considering I get the bless from my pretender god on top of the paths that you get to pick, which are picked only for forging and combat. So you can make some really beastly super combatants, which is what you generally see it done, or at least in games I've played in the past. That's what successful teams tend to do, is you build one of these kind of things, and then it acts as a very powerful backstop, which you can use even if your team is being 2v1'd. And that's part of why I'm happy about this choke, because this guy, I'm going to put a temple lab here at some point, but he should be able to hold this choke's pretty much solo versus Bandar Log once we get a little more research. Who I saw that he's like, I don't know if he's having like some supreme difficulties up here, because it is turn 8 and I'm hoping he has both of these provinces, but he doesn't have any of these, so I don't know what's happening over there. But anyway, that is turn 8. Turn 9. So we've got a whole bunch of battles here. First one is over here in Dead Forest, and this was the ping on the throne, which has no mages except that dude. So it's obviously a level 1, so we're going to swing by there and pick that up immediately. Next, battle in Great Feral. This is with my god, who now has Quicken Self, so he is double the trouble. He's obviously going to have little trouble with regular NDs with his stats. And he'll scoot on over and clear all these guys out. Okay, then we've got Observed Battle Pen, attacking Indies up here. Then it's a handful of tribes. And, well, more than a handful. It's a lot of tribes, but I think he handles this, even though he's vastly outnumbered. Looks like it's close. Okay, it was close. So he did lose a couple guys. His tribes are powerful, apparently, when you have large numbers. Mostly it's because our guys aren't that high up front. Next battle is into those heavy cav, which these dudes perform admirably. These guys are growing on me. The nice Sobek Sacred guy. Yes. So they have a little trouble. Clean all that out. I don't think actually any of them died. No. Next, Battle in Copper Canyons, and this was yet another expansion. A smaller group. And these guys also have a little trouble. They kind of chop everyone up. So that's over there. Next, Pan has another battle over here into a significant number of things. But he's got a whole bunch of stuff. And they go into the back and clean out all the commanders, and then everybody runs away. Then we've got a handful of events from Throne of War, and all of them are positive 8 defense instead of the normal barbarian invasions. So I'm not going to complain about that. Plus 3 nature. Throne of War is ended after giving me a whole bunch of PD. That works for me. We've got Palisades completed over here, so we're going to be upgrading those. And then Victor, the villain, got heroic whatever. So good for him, I guess. Alright, so now what we're doing. So first off, this guy... Actually, can he bring these back with him? I think they're stuck here. I'll have to herd him back at some point. Yeah, so they'll slow him down. So he's going to pick those, or not take those. He's going to run back to here. Because I'm going to need somebody to claim, and I don't feel like making an H3 right now. Over here, we finished our lab temple and fortifications, so he's going to search S1, and he'll run around and do that in general. He's upgrading. We're going ahead and making a taskmaster so that we can lead these elite warriors with 11 morale score, mostly because it's 1 commander point to do it with that, and it is 4 to do it with this guy. So I just want to make one of these real quick, and then I'll probably make another Hyrule with my other commander point next turn, and then the turn after that we'll have the upgrade done, and then we'll be making probably Marsh Masters from this fort. Although my income's still pretty shit. Down here, so we're sending these guys all into the Amazons, and I'm putting them on hold and fire this time so maybe they don't get owned. Victor and then the H2 Priest, so they should be able to handle that. Over here, we could see Eagle Warriors, so I assume Mechlin has them on attack rear. So we're going to try and not get owned. I may get owned anyway, but I'm going to put this guy up front, so if he does attack rear, at least he'll have to kill all my shit before they rout. I assume we're going to bump together, or maybe he's going to go this way, I don't know. But these guys are so slow, I'd rather bump than walk them all the way back. Maybe the commanders will survive. Over here, we're walking our little group of 12 Sacreds and 5 Slingers, along with her, to go take this. They should be able to do that easily. And then over here, for as far as recruitment goes, we're making yet more Sacreds and more Elite Warriors. So he's going to take that blob of Elite Warriors, and then he'll walk down here and pick up all the rest of them, because I'll have, like, I don't know, a fair number. And then we're going to be probably taking those this way, because as you can see, it appears that Ashdod is rushing Vanheim, so he had similar plans, although his was immediate, since he bumped him and saw his bless and said, lol, and attacked. So I don't know exactly what their bless is, but it's Anakites, so I assume it's some kind of silly bless that makes him nigh invulnerable to the poor Vens. Down here we're going to hide so that I can maybe see his bless, and we've also got Ulm down there. So I don't know exactly what's happening, but not good for the Team Elf. But we're doing okay, I think. Even though my income's still kind of bad, I'm going to be getting a throne shortly, and we are well on the way to alteration, well, at least 3. 4 is the key, and then I don't know if we want to get conjuration before that for reinvigoration. Maybe then enchantment. Something like that. I don't know. Once he gets another couple stars, he'll be fine. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm just going to go straight to enchantment and then conjuration, because enchantment's more generally useful anyway. So yeah, that is our turn. I don't know if we're going to be fighting these guys pretty soon, because their expansion is kind of weird. It's like a rope. Looks like this one in a straight line back and forth. So they have a very large border, I assume. And then down here, we're very much stuck together now, so we can send support, although my guys are very slow, and we'll have difficulty reaching Pan. He could send support to me at least. And if we were raided, since he did have the Awake God, he is close to Swarm, and attacking Pan after he has Swarm is hell. So we'll see how it goes. But for now, I think it's looking good. For us, it's not looking good for Team Elf, and then we're going to see how bad it is, what is the damage, and whether or not we're going to get have to deal with these guys. Because if one team eats another team and it's still year 0 and they do it really, really fast, like he's getting a lot of gold income from this, it can make them snowball. So we're going to consider our actions before we go and do anything. And Pan was talking to Team Mary and Vanderlog, and has a tentative kind of peaceful agreement as far as borders go, which I think is okay. They're not really a threat, and I would rather these guys be dead earlier so I don't get elfed later, because it's always really obnoxious to defend against. So I would rather they be crippled or dead soonish. So we're going to go ahead and go take this throne, and if these provinces are still available, we'll take some of these too. And that is our turn.